Hi, everybody. We're back. I'm Linda Bennett, your spiritual counselor and psychic host for Metaphysically Speaking. Again, you can find us on the World Wide Web, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Just type in Metaspeak, METASPEAK.com, and you'll find us there. We're also on local radio, and check the schedule for that as well. Okay, we have been talking about women's power. And you're saying, well, if women have so much power, how come they're not running the world? Well, we should be, because you guys have been screwing it up. And that happened it happened at the end of Atlantis. That was one of the major reasons Atlantis had to go down. It's also one of the reasons Krishna came to India thousands of years ago. Because he said, look, men and women are equal. And you guys are winning too many wars, starting too many wars, winning too many wars. You've got medicine, you've got science, you've got art, and now you are using women as concubines. You're going to find yourselves in a decline. In Atlantis, everything was equal. Men couldn't give birth, but you need the seed in order to implant it in the womb. No seed, no need for the womb. No womb, doesn't matter about the seed. So both are equal partners. Sadly, men use their male parts as swords. And it is literally when someone says it's phallic, it is very phallic. All men think that their anatomy is smaller than the other guys. And to prove it, and interestingly enough, Alexander the Great was rumored to be very small, smaller than normal. And these people have a worse sense of power mongering because they want to prove that even though their testicles and other male parts are a little smaller than somebody else's, they're still going to conquer. Well, it doesn't matter how many people you kill because you're going to be killed as many times as the people you've been responsible for killing. Think of that, people. And the men started trying to take over. And when we knew Atlantis was going down, and we knew we had to populate other parts of the world, we looked for parts of the world that had a spirituality and had an equal sense of male-female. Tragically, behind the backs of some of us, these men were sending out their own squads, goon squads, and encouraging the men of the community to take power. That stuck, because men are physically stronger than women. You have a different body mass than we do. We have about a 25% fat ratio. You've got about a 15% fat ratio. We are designed that way because we have to nourish a fetus. If there isn't enough food, the fetus will start feeding off the fat of the mother's body. That's how we're designed. Nothing right or wrong about it. It's the way it is. It's why women have a more difficult time losing weight than men do. Men have more muscle mass. Women have more fat mass. That's the way it is. No problems with it. The problem comes in when one sex thinks it's more important and more powerful than the other and starts beating women, starts abusing them, starts enslaving them, then starts selecting out a few to be the favorite. Now you say to yourself, because I certainly said to myself a long time ago, why would women go along with this? Number one, so many people fear death. And the men would simply kill the women that didn't cooperate. It still happens today. Anybody who's interested in slavery, go to the west coast of Africa. Slavery is still alive and well. They still trade tribes people. They still nab them from their tribes and send them to Indonesia or different parts of the world that will accept black slaves. Slavery also exists in Asia. They capture people from another village. They capture people from another island and bring them back, enslave them. People are afraid of dying. So they'll basically accommodate the slave master. It's like the Stockholm syndrome. Remember, that was developed years ago. It explains why people who have been abducted, whether it's a bank robbery or it was poor Patty Hearst when she was grabbed by the Symbionese Liberation Army and forced to do the bank robbery, or whatever the situation is, they begin to sympathize with their captors. It's a way of surviving. It's a way of not going crazy. It's a way of making them sympathetic towards you so you're not tortured as much. But what it does is enslave you. Nobody has the right to take you off the street and abduct you. Nobody has the right to harm you. Nobody has the right to take away your rights. Nobody has the right to tell you you're going to hell unless you're this particular religion, or that you're going to get 72 virgins and rivers of honey. By the way, why are virgins more important to these men than a woman who's led life? Maybe given birth? These guys think they're so fabulous and special they deserve a young child. No one has the right to take away your dignity. So why do women go along with this? Well, over the thousands of years, they've wanted to be, number one, alive. Number two, we want to give birth biologically. And we think by pleasing the bully with the biggest sword and having his child, we will be the favored one. We'll be given more food. We'll be given a better set of rags to wear. Maybe we'll be given shoes to walk through the snow with. Maybe we'll be spared somehow. But women have gotten even when they've had male children by counseling these male children that they will take over from the father and knocking off the father eventually. Look at the Egyptian pharaohs and that kind of history. That's just an example. Look at what happened in England and twin boys buried in the Tower of London, etc., etc. People getting murdered left and right. Look at the Borgias. The poor sister Lucretia was blamed for everything when really it was her brothers and father, who was a pope. I think it was Alexander something. Yes, Lucretia Borgia was not the guilty party. It was her conniving, murderous brothers and father. That's also one of the things that kicked off the Protestant Reformation. Check Google. You'll find out. So women surrender their power to the men who have conquered them because they want to be the chosen one. They want to be the chosen wife. They want their children to survive because in many cultures, they'd kill off the second wife's children, the third wife's children, because they didn't want competition. And many times, it was the woman who was the first wife killing off the second and third wife's kids. What a mess. You see what happens when there's an imbalance? Do you see what happens when someone's freedoms and dignity are taken away? They turn into monsters. So women have allowed themselves to be bastardized, to cater to men. How do you